Hey guys, I've got some really wonderful news.
Did you finally drink a glass of water?
No, I obtain enough moisture from the wet foods and juices that I consume throughout the day. But the North American Friends Movie Club has a new sponsor.
That's fantastic.
I can finally afford to get tomato sauce with spices.
Oh no, Brent. Have you been eating plain tomato sauce this whole time?
Yeah, I haven't tasted basil or rosemary for 2 years.
Brent, when you're done reading this ad, you'll be able to afford tomato sauce that has spices in the recipe, as well as extra dry spices for your cupboard at home that you can sprinkle in when you warm it up. I've just sent over the new scripts, so let's record this with style and grace, and then we can start the show.
You got it.
Ready when you are.
This episode of the North American Friends Movie Club is brought to you by Good Sticks,
Swords.
Rifles.
Slingshots.
When it comes to playing around and causing trouble, there's only one champion of the forest floor. Good
Sticks.
Sure, you can pretend a pine cone. Sure, you can pretend a pine cone is a grenade, but that's it. That's all you can do. It's extremely limited as far as war and battles are concerned.
And guess what else can be a grenade? As long as you don't mind playing as the Germans, the right stick can also be a grenade.
Not to mention a wizard staff, a lance, a trident, or a spear.
With the right stick, you can recreate any military engagement from the Siege of Carthage to the Bay of Pigs fiasco.
And with sticks, you don't have to limit yourself to the battles and skirmishes of antiquity.
The right stick has the potential to take you thousands of years into the future.
Plasma cannons, lightsabers, laser blasters. Whatever you can dream up, a good stick can be. Whatever you can dream up, a good stick can beam up.
For example, you can find a stick that has 3 prongs at one end, and that's a triple gun. It shoots 3 bullets or lasers at once.
Or a combination of both.
That's a really good point, Kate. It could shoot both lasers and bullets at the same time, if that's what you say it does.
Very interesting. That way, if the bad guy had a shield for lasers, the bullets would still kill him. Really good work, Kate.
Would you say it was fantastic?
Holy shit.
She's on fire right now.
It's easy, boys. You just gotta stick to it.
No way. It's too good.
They're gonna kill her for this.
Okay, fellas, calm down. We have to say the tagline or we don't get paid.
Okay, I'll try to lower my heart rate.
I feel like I just watched a humpback breach directly beside my boat, but I'll pull it together.
If you're walking in the woods with someone who is boring, look to your feet for a special stick treat.
Great work, guys. Let's start the show. This is what it sounds like when we do a podcast. We're currently doing one. This is the North American Friends Movie Club, and you might notice something about our name that's interesting. And that's Friends comes before Movie Club. So, I gotta ask my 2 friends, how we doing?
Good, and I want to talk first because I have an apology to make.
Oh.
And it's to Brent.
Oh.
Okay.
Because you texted the group thread with a photo of your 2 dogs.
Yeah?
And I did not reply to it.
Oh.
And I want to apologize for not being supportive of your dogs.
It's fine. I don't have to share her anymore. If that's what... Are you saying you want me to continue to share my life?
Absolutely, 100%. And your dogs are super cute.
Okay.
I was working hard this week. And so a lot of stuff got thrown by the wayside. And I'm sorry that it was me acknowledging your cute dogs.
I accept your apology.
Thank you.
Thank you for apologizing. I will continue to share pictures and anecdotes of my life.
Thanks.
Okay, you have to keep going, though.
Well, the other thing I was going to talk... Oh, am I apologizing for more, or I was going to switch the subject?
No, you don't. You're done the apologizing section, but you have to now do the how are you doing section.
Yeah, I'm doing great because I went to Dollar Tree on Sunday with Juliet and I found little gnome families that are like an inch tall. And I have created a small gnome hangout area in my kitchen.
Hell yes.
Yeah, I knew this was going to happen. Didn't I call it 2 episodes ago?
Yeah.
This is just the beginning. No one just has 3 gnomes.
I do not want people to buy me gnomes as presents. Gnomes are only things that I buy for myself.
I knew it. I knew this was going to happen.
I don't want anyone to buy me gnomes.
And now this is going to transfer to Nate. And then next thing I know, I'm on a podcast with gnome people.
No, next thing you know, you're buying gnomes, buddy. That's how it happens.
Not going to happen. I got the garden, getting ready to set the garden up, and there would not be a gnome.
No, I think gnomes are our mascot is a gnome.
No.
North American
Definitely.
Friends Movie Club mascot is a gnome.
Definitely.
It's a movie gnome.
Fine. I'm willing. I'll let you guys have this one, but in the future, when I want something ridiculous, you guys have to let me have it.
That is the rule. You bought one being ridiculous in the future.
What if it's so bad that I will be like, no, it doesn't need to be a gnome anymore?
It won't be that bad. I'm reasonable.
Okay.
I'm very reasonable.
You want us to actually get some of those tattoos?
Well, a lot can happen with a couple cocktails when we all get together.
Yeah,
eventually.
brothers don't weigh anything.
I would like to meet you guys before we die. That's really my worst fear is that I meet you at your funeral.
Yeah.
You'd be so sad.
You guys wouldn't even come to America for my funeral. You'd be like, it's too dangerous down there. Can't go to Kansas City.
Listen, I got multiple things to say. First, I'm not a really spring guy, but I'm digging the spring right now. Second of all, I've lost some weight because I've been eating healthy the last 6 weeks. Third, I'm plowing through the books. I'm on like 7 books now in the year.
Are you sticking to fiction?
Yeah. Sometimes the real world is too much. So,
amen.
This morning I thought of a movie idea, and it's preposterous, and it's one of those things where if I don't say it out loud to you guys, I'm not going to stop thinking about it.
Hear it.
Okay, it's just quick summary of it. It's a plane carrying gym equipment. Now I'll explain in a second. But it's a plane. It's carrying gym equipment, and it gets shot down over the jungle. And the government is concerned because there's reports that they can hear the weights being clanked together and the gorillas hooting and hollering and stuff.
Yeah.
So the gorillas are out in the jungle getting jacked.
Yeah. Worst. This is our worst nightmare.
So the government's kind of worried. They're keeping an eye on it. But then picture like the George Bush kindergarten being informed about 9/11 scene picture.
Yep.
That guy is telling the president in the movie that the plane carrying pre-workout and creatine is not showing up on radar. The gorillas are clanking the weights. They're ripping sets in the jungle. They're spotting each other, and now they have access to creatine and pre-workout. And this ultimately builds up into the ultimate showdown between the army and really in shape gorillas.
Yeah,
I'm scared.
Yeah, it's like people are gonna say that's Planet of the Apes. No, they weren't working out in that movie.
Yeah, it's different.
I think it's a good idea. I think
no, it's not. But if Snakes on a Plane can get made, then Weights in the Jungle should get made.
Do you know what you should call it? Like, I'm just gonna throw this out there. It should obviously be called Jungle Gym, right?
Oh my God.
Bingo.
That's amazing.
Right.
Bingo.
Oh my God. Like, seriously, the shit that's being made right now, this could be made.
100%.
Straight to Netflix movie.
Rated PG-13.
No, I want a lot of violence. I want the monkeys showing their strength.
Yeah.
Like maybe an M rating.
I think it'd be really funny if we got this greenlit and they're like, the only thing is it's got to be PG-13. And Brent's like, I'm walking. No chance.
I'm out.
Yeah. I'd rather not.
I'll shoot it myself.
Yeah.
I'll shoot it myself with an iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Like Quentin Tarantino, you have ideas.
You just got to buy a really detailed costume. Listen, there's certain things that go through your head that you just have to say out loud to get rid of.
It's like when your plane's running out of gas and you got to start throwing the chairs and stuff out of there to try and make it as far as possible. Exactly,
Nate. Because eventually I'll have a mental breakdown if I don't say these things out loud.
Well, I'm glad you got that off your chest.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And I choose to do it on the internet, so that's that. How you doing, Nate?
I'm good. I only slept a tiny little bit last night, the smallest amount of sleep.
How much is that?
It was 1 hour and 15 minutes. I slept for 1 hour and 15 minutes.
That's a nap.
I can tell that you're more tired today. I could hear it.
Damn it. I've been trying so hard to
I know, but you're doing great.
I was trying so hard to have the pep and the zip.
Like last week's episode, I called your voice like silky and like a chocolate fountain.
Yeah, today it's more like guy who slept for an hour and 15 minutes.
And you probably haven't had chocolate milk yet today.
Honestly, Kate, I almost drank some before I came out here.
You should have.
Definitely bought some at the grocery store yesterday.
Hell yeah.
I've been hitting the cashews very hard.
Ooh.
I'm having upwards of 15 to 20 cashews a day.
Oh, they're so good.
Those are delicious nuts. I love cashews. Yep. I don't know why people don't like cashews.
I would be highly suspicious of someone who is like, I don't like them.
Who would say that?
People that were just like, they'd be like, they're too soft.
Is this something that was said, or is this something that you said?
I was trying to think of a reason why someone wouldn't like cashews. I don't know. Okay. I can't think of any because I really love them. So I thought of like maybe they don't like that it's like softer than a walnut or it's softer than an almond.
It is softer than an almond. That's a good point.
It is soft. You're right. You make points.
But I like that.
Yeah, but that's not. I do too. I do too.
Got a bunch of rock teeth out here complaining about cashews. Like, calm down.
So what kept Nady up all 22 and hours and 45 minutes of his day?
Well, I am legendary for leaving things till the absolute last minute. So I was going to write the intro last night, and then I waited till like 3 a.m. and then I was like, okay, now I better start. And then I wrote a whole one, and then I didn't like it. I wasn't happy. I wasn't a happy camper. So I started again, and then it was like so late, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay up. And then I started like nodding off in my chair. I'm like, okay, that's not going to work. So then I went back inside the house and I slept for an hour and 15 minutes. And, that's how you get yourself into situations like that.
That's okay. You wrote a real doozy one. So
yeah, we had a good laugh.
That was my favorite one.
We did have a good laugh. So, maybe a little bit of exhaustion is good for comedy,
A little goofy goof.
Get a little goof juice on there.
Speaking of goof juice.
Goof juice.
Nice.
We watched a movie with a lot of goof juice in it. This week, it was the audience recommendation. We picked Ocean's 11, starring 2001, starring Mr. Bradley Pitt and George Clooney and a wild cast of characters. So, without any further ado, Catherine.
Yes, sir.
Tell us what happened in Ocean's 11.
You got it. So, as the movie says, there's 11 of people that are hired by Billy Ocean. I knew I was going to say that.
Billy Ocean.
Danny Ocean, who is a thief who was previously married to Julia Roberts, and she breaks up with him when he gets arrested for some kind of job. He gets out of jail, and she is now married to Andy Garcia, who is Terry Benedict, who owns a giant fancy casino in Las Vegas. That casino, he bought out one of Danny's old theft cronies, who finances Danny's next big thiefdom, which is stealing the money out of the vault between the Bellagio, the something other, and the something else. And so he employs Rusty, Frank, Patton, Virgil, Turk, Livingston, Basher, all these guys to do a heist during a fight night. And he does it so beautifully that he wins back Tess, played by Julia Roberts, and gets money. And we end by seeing that Terry Benedict's cronies are following him and Julia Roberts away after he got out of doing another 3-month stint because of the whatever. And so that sets us up for Ocean's 12. The end.
Very good job.
Thank you.
Excellent job.
Let's talk about our favorite part. What is not to like about this movie? You know, everything about it is so charming and interesting, and the way that the plot develops and you don't understand how they get away from it to the very end. Oh, it's a great movie.
It's a good middle of the road between the seriousness of Casino and the goofiness of Snatch.
I definitely made a note that I feel like there's a little Snatch influence in this movie. It came out a year after
time.
Snatch, and I think Snatch had some influence on this movie.
100%. Totally agree with that.
The music, for sure.
That was just a 2000s thing, I feel. Like, if you make this movie... First of all, if I'm on a parole board and there's a handsome man prisoner and his name is Danny Ocean, I'm not giving him parole.
No, you gotta know better.
Yeah, come on. What's he gonna do? Be a florist? No, he's obviously a criminal. Same as Danny Ocean.
But and I like how they just asked him if he was gonna reoffend.
It's good technique.
Promise you won't do it.
It's because you're gonna every now and then you're gonna catch someone sleeping. They weren't prepared for that question. They were thinking that you were gonna try to trick them, so they didn't prepare for that. And you say, "If you get out of here, are you gonna do any crimes?" And they go, "Oh yeah, for sure." I mean, and then you got them.
No.
And then you got them.
Getting together with the gang again. Yeah. The poker game with the actors was just hell. Like, it was cringy, and I felt dirty watching it.
But it's like they did such a good job because that's what is supposed to happen. But it's tough to watch.
I get secondhand embarrassment anytime I see Topher Grace.
But he did such a good job, right? He did such a good job.
I love Topher Grace.
No, with his fucking stupid goatee.
Mm-hmm.
And is like, I don't know what, he's never done anything to me personally.
He's taking the piss out of himself, as you Canadians say.
Yes, we don't say that. I don't know what it is. And ultimately, I'm a bad person for saying it and thinking it, but I do get cringed out a secondhand embarrassment anytime I see Topher Grace.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. So I apologize. I really enjoy. So it was kind of dated, the joke where the cops called Linus Radio Shack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a great joke, like 20 years ago.
It was not a good joke then. I think they were trying to show those guys were.
No, I laughed.
I mean, they got his ass. So,
I mean, it's a good joke all around. And I felt bad watching it and laughing at it because there's my kids would watch this and say, "What's Radio Shack?"
Like, I have to explain so many things to explain this. Okay, radio is this form of communication.
Kids know radio.
They don't.
Yes, they do.
Kids are ultimately very dumb.
Good point.
No.
Good point.
Ultimately, yeah, but they're very good at the internet, so they're going to be smarter than us.
Yeah, you backed yourself in a corner because you thought about last week.
Yeah, I know, and I got to work my way. I got to tiptoe around it.
Scott Caan and Casey Affleck as the brothers reminded me of the movie where Matt Damon is actually connected to what's his name? The movie Stuck on Me. Have you seen that movie? It reminded me of that because every
Jeff Daniels?
Not Jeff Daniels.
Was it Jeff Daniels?
It was.
It's probably Farrelly brothers though.
Because every shot of them after the opening shot, they're always standing right next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Kinnear.
Thank you, sir.
And it was a Farrelly Brothers movie, and Eva Mendes was in it.
And I feel angry, like, I can't tell if I'm into Scott Caan or not. Like, it's been 20 years of me trying to figure out if I'm into Scott Caan. I can't figure it out. I don't know. But he makes me like giggle. Like, I don't know. But I know he'd be so mean. And I know, like, I would not like him.
As a straight male, I know exactly what I totally know what you're saying. Because I don't know. It's his hair. It's slicked back
it's his
like an
little
old
beady
Elvis.
eyes.
Yeah, and they're close together,
Yeah.
but he kind of seems like a bad guy, and he kind of reminds me of in the 2000s. And
I just think it's funny that Kate is pretending for even 1 second that it wouldn't work on her. Like the minute I saw that hair, I say, she's like, putty in your hands, bud. You can do
because of his hair.
Yeah, he just got that Kenny Powers slick back. Like it's gonna work on Kate.
I guess that's what it is. I love like confident assholes.
Mm-hmm. Listen, they grow up quick in Festus. You can leave Festus, but the Festus don't leave you, kind of thing, right?
Scott Caan was definitely from Festus.
Kate's big crushes are Kenny Powers, Scott Caan, and that kid from Bad News Bears who smokes cigarettes and ride a motorcycle. Those are Kate's guys.
Kelly Leak.
This is how you could tell if someone has Festus energy. Could you imagine them tattooing their last name on their back?
Yeah. Yeah. And all of those characters that fit. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I decided that I'm going to start in practice pickpocketing.
For sure. I think that is such a like cool thing to know how to do.
I don't want to steal necessarily. I want to take something from somebody.
Like as a magic trick.
Yeah, give it back to them later.
Here's your virginity. Sorry.
That's good. That's a good joke. That's a very good joke. Here's your virginity. And I say it like that too. And I got my hair styled like Scott Caan. Yeah. And they sort of like reach down at the crotch. Like, what? What was I going to say? Yeah. So ultimately it's going to be a pain in my ass because Melissa's going to be on her way to work. I'm going to steal something from her.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to have to drive it up to her work when I tell her that I know where it's at. But I feel like I'm going to steal stuff from the kids and from Melissa, and then I'm going to branch out into people in the neighborhood and at work.
But are you talking about pickpocketing? Like where, or just like, because you can steal from your wife right now. Like, just go in the other room.
No, I want to be able to bump into somebody.
Yeah, it's the bump. You're looking at, you need a good distraction and a good reason to bump.
I'm going to bump into people and take stuff. The Don Cheadle accent. Let's get into it. That was a choice to make.
I loved it.
It was wild. It was fully wild.
And fully wild with absolutely no need to do it.
I was having a debate in my head while I was watching it, which was either like Soderbergh, it must have been driving him crazy. And you either have to put a stop to it on day one, which is tough. You know, you got Don Cheadle there. He's a big fancy actor. You don't want to discourage him, but I think you got to put a line in the movie somewhere where they're like, isn't it weird how he pretends to have an English accent and then at some point have him lose the English accent when he gets surprised or something and then fall back into it? Like you got to do something to explain that.
But I just read a fan theory about this, about why his voice is that way. Two things about Don Cheadle in this movie. He took his name and he's not credited in the movie. He said, take my name off of it. And second, there's a popular fan theory that Don Cheadle enjoys, saying that Bashir Tar is an explosive expert, actually from America, pretending to be from London as a cover.
That's what I was thinking.
That's
why it's so over the top.
It's a fake accent on purpose.
Yep, I like it. So we'll go with that. I'm glad I read something about that. Okay, we'll go with that. I like that.
That's awesome.
It was a very well thought out scam and plan that could entirely be taken down by Andy Garcia's character doing a simple Google search on Mr. Zerga.
Right.
I don't think we were Googling in 2001.
And also, if you're an arms dealer, like you're not on Google.
Linus probably set up a fake
website
result.
Okay, that's actually funny. Like an Angel Fire website with like him holding guns and stuff.
He has a MySpace page.
Yeah, that would be
And
really
there's
fun.
like a digital fire underneath them.
They should add that.
We had some green goo for Nate.
Yep, we definitely did.
Where?
And the EMP bomb was it was all contained inside the green goo chamber.
Yeah, and there was a coil in there. We haven't talked about coils,
Yeah.
but I like coils.
Well, it's close to gears and cogs.
Listen, bud, I knew right away that EMP was right up your alley. That was tickling a spot that only that could get. I said this a couple episodes ago in was it Die Hard last episode? Yeah, last episode. This whole thing could have been thwarted by just putting a silverback gorilla inside the vault.
Yep.
Or a bear.
Mhm.
You said a bear, yeah.
Yeah, either one.
They would have compensated for the bear. I feel like the bear wouldn't have been enough to stop them because they had their heart set on doing crimes.
They would have figured it out.
As soon as the little Chinese man came out of the box, the bear would ate him.
I liked how like everything was all about like confidence and like scams, but then also there's just one part where they have like a magic smoke bomb like spies, and I was like, oh, I guess they got a smoke bomb guy.
Yeah, that and nothing came out of it. It just opened and then nothing came out, and then you hear them flop.
Yeah, like
Cool. They're just everybody was cool.
For
they're
sure.
all so cool.
The coolest.
In 2001 when this came out, I was 19, 20 years old, and I thought Brad Pitt's outfits were the coolest outfits in the world, and I wanted to dress like him so badly.
He looks like he's in an NSYNC music video, dude. What are you talking about?
I know. I thought he was. I'm like, me and my buddy, who was like general manager of a radio station now, we both agreed that Ocean's 11, Danny and Russ are the coolest people in the world, and we have to act like this.
Absolutely. I 100% understand that.
But being a broke college kid and not very good at crime, we couldn't be like them.
No, you didn't have a lot of stores in Nova Scotia.
I don't look good with big collars. It makes my head look smaller than it really is.
Well, you got to get shirts that fit too. You know, like.
I need a tailor is what I need.
Probably.
Not a tailor sister. I know what many people are saying. I need an actual tailor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I want custom made clothes.
Yeah.
That's something I'm going to look into.
You should.
I'm not, but I would like to.
You could just like cut some pants. You could put some pants into shorts. And say they were custom made for you.
Don't start with this again. This is the only thing that makes you lose control is picturing my pants.
It's not just your pants, it's anybody in those pants.
You know what that does to me mentally? To have one of my longest friends I respect, every time she thinks about pants I wear, to crack up and not be able to talk.
Every time she thinks of your inseam, she starts laughing.
The first time that was happening, I was thinking of Nate wearing those pants. I wasn't thinking of you. I think it's just a funny image. I think of both of you wearing them.
See? You're thinking of our pants and you're laughing at us.
I'm thinking of specific long shorts that you're wearing.
See?
Uh-oh.
Mentally, it doesn't do anything for me. It makes me feel. I feel like this is what makes me feel like Smeagol in the cave a lot.
Makes him feel 28 inches tall, inseam joke.
You guys got these in a 38-20?
Exactly. Oh my God, I'm crying.
I'm not that shaped. I'm normal. I'm a normal human being.
That's why it's so funny, because I know it's not real. I wouldn't say that out loud if I thought you guys actually were people.
Yeah, you would. See, I shouldn't have brought up the Brad Pitt clothing thing.
You shouldn't have.
Ultimately, it's my fault. I know. It's ultimately my fault.
You guys are not cartoon characters.
And you like Brad Pitt's clothing, could see yourself in that. I related a lot more to Elliott Gould's clothing. We're talking neckline down at the belly button, chest hair out, medallions.
Complicated. That is a fucking robe, what he wears.
That's a robe.
My God.
See? This proves me correct. He wore a robe pretty much the whole movie. And what was he doing with the robe on? Planning a fucking heist.
Yeah, planning a heist.
This is what robe people do.
You've never had a better case made for you than by Elliott Gould in this movie.
The only thing I wanted to say was Julia Roberts, highly unlikable in this movie.
They didn't give her anything to do. I'm actually very surprised she agreed to it. I couldn't figure out why, and then I looked at Soderbergh's like filmography, and she had just done Aaron Brockovich a year before and won the Oscar for it. So she's probably like, all right, I'll do this favor for my friend Stevie, who got me my Oscar.
And she's such a good fucking actress.
Yeah, she didn't have to do anything in this movie. I could have played Tess.
But she responds. Like, that's the difference between like a great actress and like fine. Like you're right. She does not do a lot of talking, but you can feel she emotes her feelings so excellently. Like she's so relatable in her physicality. It reminds me of who was the guy from Days of Thunder, the great actor, Robert Duvall. Like
Yes.
He didn't have to say so much, but you felt like he was there in the movie.
She does the absolute best any actor could do with this very underwritten small screen time role. Like there's no complaints on her performance. It's more just like this character doesn't get any business. Everybody else is doing all sorts of business, and she's just kind of there.
And she is so sexy, but she wears such modest clothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like the sexiest thing she wears is that gorgeous last, sparkly dress. Oh my God. I kept talking about it to Nick. I was like, do you see that dress? That's such a pretty dress.
My last note is just Brad's always doing some business in this movie. It never cuts over to Brad Pitt and he's just sitting there. He's like chewing on an apple.
He was always eating because they played it off as he's always up to something, like you said, always busy, always on the run, so he can never sit down for a proper meal, so he would always be snacking.
I like that. Damn, we're fucking good at analyzing movies, guys.
We really are. We're probably one of the best podcasts at it, in my opinion.
Do you know what we're even better at?
Quizzes.
Doing movie quizzes.
Would you guys like to take the Ocean's 11-7? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Question number 1. Danny's released from prison at the start of the movie. What prison is he released from? Is he released from East Jersey State, West Jersey State, North Jersey State, or South Jersey State Prison? Catherine goes first.
West.
See, I'm going on the other axis. I'm trying to decide between North and South. I like this. I like the ring of South Jersey State. I'm going South Jersey State.
Gone forever. He got released from North Jersey State Prison.
Gone forever.
Yep. Brent on the board. Ocean's 11-7. 1-0 Brent. Fuck.
Oh my God.
Brad Pitt's, I know. Brad Pitt's first scene. He's just all snazzed up, dressed beautifully. What color is his tie? Is that a blue, silver, red, or green?
I'm going to say it was a horrible silver tie.
I'm also going to guess silver.
That man had on a horrible, bright, flashy silver tie.
Oh.
1-1-1-1 on the 11-7. Question number 3. Andy Garcia plays Terry Benedict in this movie, who is a very, very, very routine-based man. What time does Terry Benedict arrive at work every day? Does he arrive at 2 p.m., 1 p.m., noon, or 3 p.m.? Catherine.
I'm going to say noon.
I'm going to say 2.
Terry Benedict shows up to work at the casino at 2 p.m. 2-1-1-1. No, 2-1-1. The movie is based around a fight where Lennox Lewis is the champion. What country was his opponent from? Russia, Greece, Serbia, Ukraine.
I'm going to guess the Ukraine.
I'm going to say Serbia.
Lennox Lewis fought Vladimir Klitschko, who's from the Ukraine.
I knew that because he ran for fucking president, and now I'm saying it. Nick and I talked about it last night. Gosh darn it.
And his team had blue and yellow on the whole time. Famous Klitschko brothers. 3-1-1. Oh, 3 questions left.
I was watching an SVU with Serbian people. I got confused.
That explains it. Yeah, that happens. Don't say blank words when you can use for. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Brad Pitt tells Matt Damon, don't use blank words when you can use for. Did he say don't use 9 words, 8 words, 7 words, or 6 words?
7.
Yeah, that was my instinct too. I'm going to say 7.
4, 2, 1. You guys are correct. Don't say 7 words when you can use 4. Need this one, Catherine. Need this one.
To tie?
Yep. Well, do you have a chance to tie?
Okay.
The vault entrance camera that they watched on the monitor, what number was it? Was it 92, 192, 292, or 392?
Damn. Because I believe that a casino would have 392 cameras, so that's not ridiculous. It could be that. I'm going to guess it was camera 192.
I'm going to guess 292.
That camera that they watched the monitor on was vault camera 292. Catherine stays alive. She needs the last one to force a tie.
I was getting cocky.
No, I'm not.
No, I was.
I'm not. Oh. I'm humbled.
No, I'm not. Question number 7 of the Ocean's 11 quiz. When the heist is done, everything works out. They're all staring at the waterfall show at the Bellagio. And Brad Pitt leaves first. Who leaves second?
Oh, no.
Was it Scott Caan, Don Cheadle, Bernie Mac, or Casey Affleck?
Don Cheadle.
This is so hard. I know Carl Reiner left last.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to have things be interesting, so I'm not going to say the same thing as Kate. I'm going to say it was Mr. Mac. I'm going to say it was Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac is not correct, but either is Don Cheadle.
It was Scott
Caan.
God damn
He
it!
couldn't wait to get out of there.
Gone forever.
God damn it. I was going to say that. I thought to myself, Kate, go with what doesn't feel right. This is bad.
He didn't want that waterfall to wreck his hair. He had to get out of there. He left. Congratulations, Nate. On fire!
Oh my God,
Continues his
great
undefeated
job.
streak.
Wow.
God damn it, Nate. You're
Wait,
killing
did
us.
Nate win? So he has 3 now.
Yeah.
Jokingly said at the beginning of the month that I'm going to win them all, but now the joke has turned into reality and it's time to get
The
serious.
joke's on us.
Yeah, it's time to get...
He swept. We're the jokes. Look in the mirror.
We are
You
the
want to see
jokes.
jokes. That's the joke. He swept the month. It's unacceptable by us as the quiz masters and the participants that we let this happen. Ultimately, we have no one. We should be made to eat the hemlock berries or the nightshade berries from the Hunger Games.
I will take them.
Yeah, me and you will eat them and we'll never be seen from or heard from again. That's what the world wants, apparently, because that's why Nate won 4 in a row. We have no excuses. Can we give out some medals, please?
Yes.
Yes. Who did you guys give your bronze medal to?
My bronze is going to Mr. Carl Reiner, who plays Saul Bloom in this movie. And then Mr. Zerga as well. Just an enjoyable old man who just wants to live out his days. Carl Reiner was excellent as Saul.
He was fantastic. And did you guys know that he was best friends with Mel Brooks?
I did know that. Yes.
And they used to hang out every single night and eat dinner together and watch action movies. And then I watched them being interviewed about it. And Carl Reiner said they always try to pick a movie where somebody talks about the perimeter. That's an important part of their action movies. Is someone has to be like, get to the perimeter or secure the perimeter. And that they like funny. That. And that made me laugh.
Oh,
he was 98 when he died.
He made it a long time.
Yes. My bronze goes to sexiest man alive, Brad Pitt as Rusty.
Bradley Pittance.
Brad Pitty, Danny's friend and partner in crime. Brad brings an ease on the eyes and the ease on the ears. And I think he's just an all-around good guy, even if he's a bad guy.
There's so many good performances in this movie that I had to decide on a metric on how I was going to award my medal. So the metric I used this week was who was I the happiest to see in order. So my bronze medal goes to Elliott Gould because I was just so happy to see Elliott Gould in this movie. He's a very specific type of actor, but God damn it, I love it.
And he's still alive.
He used to date Barbra Streisand, so he's cool.
Wow.
My silver is going to Mr. Bradley Pittance. The scene where he has his face buried into his elbow watching the TV at the bar, and George Clooney's like, you think we need another guy? Brad Pitt steals the scene without even saying a word. Love it. Silver medal, Brad Pitt. Plus, he's attractive as hell. He's a handsome man with a great voice. Made to be a star.
Born to be a star.
Yep.
From the mean streets of Missouri.
Yep, that's right.
How about you, Kate?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was waiting for Nate, and it is my turn. Well, I mean, my silver goes to one of our greatest comedians ever, Bernie Mac, as Frank Catton. He steals every scene he's in. Period. Period. So he gets my silver.
I gave my silver to Carl Reiner. Like I said, I used the metric of who was I happiest to see, and I was just so happy to see Carl Reiner. I thought he did he's not doing too much, but he's doing everything perfectly. He doesn't overdo it with the accent. It's a subtle accent. He's not going crazy. He's just nailing it. He's just one of our greatest comedian, performer, director, writer, producers, legend. Absolute legend.
Well said.
Gold medals.
Gold medal time. And my gold medal is going to Mr. Bernie Mac. Kate said he stole every scene that he was in this movie. He steals every scene of every movie he was ever in. He's in House Party. He was Uncle Vester, and he stole every scene in that. The Kings of Comedy tour, he was the funniest by far. Big Suits, all that stuff, good stuff. Bernie Mac missed, but I feel like his legend grows stronger because he died younger.
My gold goes to our greatest living movie star, George Clooney.
Wow.
Really?
Yes. I love George Clooney. He is the cornerstone of these movies, whether you like it or not. He might play the same character in every movie he's in, but I goddamn want to see every one of those ding ding movies.
He's just, I watched a behind the scenes thing, and Julia Roberts was talking about working with him, and she's like, it's just so hard to be serious because he's a charm monster. And I was like, he is a charm monster. This man is just so damn charming. Then I had the thought that we had George Clooney, and then we got John Hamm kind of took the Clooney role for a while, and now we're waiting for our next dark-haired jaw guy.
Yeah.
Who will it be? Who will it be?
Who will it be? You know who they want it to be is the guy who made his jaw bigger, Zac Efron. Zac Efron wants to be it, but he won't be it.
They wanted Adam Driver to be it, but
I love Adam Driver.
Driver ain't it. He just ain't it.
He's
No,
not too cute.
just-
He's not pretty enough.
Nope.
no, yeah, exactly. They tried to do that thing where everyone thought that odd-looking people were hot, but that fizzled out quickly.
Yeah.
Once again, the cream rises to the top. Sorry, can't fake that.
Over the longer period of time, it's gonna be a handsome jaw guy that wins the race, you know?
For sure.
We can fight it as much as we want. That's the cream rises to the top. That's always been that way. Always going to be that way.
I gave my gold medal to Bernie Mac. Couldn't have been
Yay!
happier to see Mr. Bernie Mac. And everybody in the behind the scenes documentary is talking about how great Bernie Mac is because he's just that fucking good. Even these big famous movie stars are like, this is a fun movie. Did you guys get a look at Bernie Mac? This guy's fucking knocking it out of the park. Gold medal.
Well, good work, guys. We didn't have any overlap.
We had a lot of the same
No.
guys, but not in the
Yeah,
same
we did.
position.
Bernie
Exactly.
Mac.
No, but
was
we
my
didn't
goal.
No
rate them the
turkeys.
same.
Yeah, no turkeys.
turkeys.
But with 11 great performers, it's, that makes sense. That makes sense. And honorable mention for the acrobat guy, because he did some pretty cool flips, right?
Sure did.
Nah, well, I mean, yeah, okay. We'll let him. Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you.
I won't go into it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Would you guys like to give this movie a rating?
I sure would.
Yes, please.
The script for this movie, based on a movie that sucks a lot and is no fun. Did you guys know that this was a remake of a movie?
I did, but
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's a stinker because it was just basically like a really crappy promotion vehicle for Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis, and they were all at the height of their fame and drunkenness, so none of them wanted to be on set. None of them wanted to be doing it, and they would do like one take, and the director would be like, "Can we get another one?" And Frank Sinatra would be like, "No, we're done. Next scene."
Oh my God.
So
Yeah,
Oh my
fuck those
God.
guys. Fuck the Rat Pack.
Yeah.
That's a hot take.
yeah, hey, if I got to pick between those guys or our Ocean's 11 guys, I'm going with Clooney and Pittance. That's for fucking damn sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
The script. What did you guys give the script?
I'm going to give it a 10 because I just really love this movie and I can come back to it and enjoy it time after time and it still is enjoying. So to me, that's a 10.
I want to give it a 10. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 10 because it's a good heist movie that doesn't take itself too serious. Snappy dialogue, good characters. 10.
I really like this movie a lot. I think it's super clever. I think it's really well written and performed, and I dock it exactly 1 point for not giving Julia Roberts anything to do. So I give it a 9.
Fair.
Gotcha.
Fair.
The art direction for this movie, the sets, the costumes, the robes, the silver ties, the props. What did you guys think of the art direction in this movie?
I loved it. I liked it. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Nice.
I can't give it a 10, even though they were super. I wanted to be exactly like them. But now that 20 years later, it's kind of Brad Pitt looked ridiculous. I'm going to give it a 9.
Well, we're all going to exactly reverse from the first round because I'm going to go ahead and give it a 10. The most impressive part of this movie is that they filmed it mostly on location in Vegas, which would be it may not happen again, like genuinely. They had to shut down like the valet at the front of the casino for 4 days. They had to shut down the floor. They were filming while gamblers were gambling. And then every time they finished the scene, people would start clapping. Like they really got in there. And we talked about Elliott Gould's medallions. 10. I'm giving it a 10. The music for this movie, Brent, are there any bangers in this movie?
Not a one to be found.
Not a banger in sight.
Like the barren deserts of the Las Vegas hills. Not a banger in sight.
Nice.
I get what the music was trying to do. Very 2000 heisty casino stuff. But you put any Guns N' Roses song to this, and you got yourself a hit. Even a CCR song would have been nice to play off the kind of like difference between like Vegas and like Bayou music. I think would be kind of cool. Not a banger in sight. 8. Sorry.
Oh goodness, this movie gets a 10 from me. For many reasons. I really enjoy the music, and they use Clair de Lune, which is my favorite classical song, piano song. It's 10.
That's a touching moment of the movie, which you gone through this whole high-paced, quick cuts, double screens, and then they just slow it right down, and they all stand in front of a nice fountain, and Clair de Lune plays, and we see Carl Reiner. It's probably his last heist, you know? He's like thinking back on his crime career. This is a good choice. I'm going to finish the sequence and give it a 9. I liked the music and the bass lines going for a walk, but I agree with Brent. No bangers, not a banger in sight.
Been Caught Stealing by Porno for Pyros would have been good.
Okay.
That would have been a good song to play. What's the next category?
The next category is the theme. This is a heist comedy film. It's a heist comedy film. Needs to have a heist, needs to have a bit of comedy. As a heist comedy film, how would you guys rate this movie?
This is I laugh out loud at this film. This is also very heistian. I'm giving it a 10.
It is very heistian, a great heist. There is some laughs. I feel like if you're going to do with the oddball characters, they went with too many pretty guys for it to not to be as funny as it could have been. Get Matt Damon's ass out of there. He didn't have to be in this movie. So I give it a 8.
Okay.
No, 9. Sorry. I forgot the category. 9.
9. Okay. The heist is great. It might be the best heist in a movie ever. It is funny. It's not hilarious, but it's funny. So I feel like it gets full score. I'm going to give it a 10.
Okay.
Yay!
And for our last Marches for Money movie, if you got a friend who likes watching a movie about money, how much you recommend in this movie to them?
We saw a lot of money. Not as much money as in Casino. I'm going to give it a 9.
I think that's correct with Kate. This is more about the heist than it is the money. So I give it a 9.
Yeah, I like that too. It's I like 9, and it's a really fun movie. Like if someone hadn't seen this movie, I would definitely be like, "Oh, it's worth watching. You got to check this movie out. Like it's good fun." This gets a 46.5. This gets a 46.5.
Way to go, Ocean's 11.
Exciting stuff next.
Yeah, I guess it's time for a very exciting part of the podcast where me and Kate find out what our theme next month is going to be.
Your theme for the month of April last year, which is crazy to say last year, but last year it was April's Fools. And we took a look at who was a foolish character. This time we take a look at ourselves a little bit. We go behind the camera. And this theme for the next month is going to be your favorite documentary or mockumentary. Isn't that exciting?
Yes.
I have the best movie already picked out.
Instantaneously
knew exactly what I was going to pick.
What are we watching?
This is my favorite genre of filmmaking is documentaries. I think people are most interesting when they are themselves. And the very first movie we're going to watch for the documentary month is just an absolute banger of a documentary. Insane story. The Dawn Wall.
The what?
What?
The Dawn Wall. It's about
how do you spell it? DAWN
Wall. WALL. It's the mountain range in
El
Capitan Mountain. It's been scaled many a times, but there's one section of the mountain called the Dawn Wall. It's the first part of the mountain to receive sunlight, and no one has ever climbed it because there's no climbing route. This movie is 2017, and it follows the world's best free climber and his partner after heartbreak to climb this mountain.
Oh my gosh.
You guys.
Am I going to cry?
Oh, listen, I'm not going to spoil anything. This guy had the most insane life ever. I'm just going to say it. No, I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil the first part of the movie. The first part of the movie is you could make a whole documentary about that, and it's 5 minutes of the movie. They don't even talk about it anymore. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
And then it's just follows these guys trying to climb this impossible mountain, and to see what they have to do to climb it and what they go through. Perseverance. You guys are going to love it. I know it. I know for a fact that you guys are going to love it. I'm even worried about it. And I think this month is going to be fun as hell.
Yay! Good work,
Thank
Brent.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
The Dawn Wall.
Wasn't that a cool name for a section of a mountain?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It's completely flat, and it's the very first thing to see sunlight in the day.
I've been there. I've seen El
Well,
Capitan.
you could get your little arse up there and scale that mountain.
It's beautiful. It looks fake. Even when you're there, everything looks fake. Like it's so real.
It's a cool name for a mountain, El Capitan.
Oh, really cool.
On that note, I think there's only one less. Or no, I can't even say it. See, I try to steal your line, and I can't do it.
That's because there's only one thing left to do. And that's say goodnight, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Good night, Kate.
Hello?
Hey guys, it's John Branch from the New York Times. Tommy, why are you doing this? What's the point of all this?
Tommy's a freak. A freak in the prodigy sense of the word.
We had come to Kyrgyzstan to rock climb, and all of a sudden, we were hostages.
4 young Americans confront the ultimate choice: to kill or be killed.
Ever since Kyrgyzstan, I just have this fire in me that is different than anything I've had before.
We've been following 2 climbers.
Making a historic climb up the side of Yosemite's El Capitan.
This was always Tommy's dream.
Why am I doing this?
Give it up. Where are the lines between dedication and obsession?
What a transition.
Your audition is now officially complete, and you are now a permanent host of the North American Friends Movie Club.
Welcome to the show. You did it.
Aww.